Where are you from?
I'm from Santa Barbara, California.
And what felt like your first break?
Probably the first commercial I ever booked, because that was the first time I could envision a life where I was not working in restaurants.
And what have you been in?
A lot of commercials, a lot of my own work. I played a small part in Ingrid Goes West, which came out a couple of years ago, and my own movie, Before You Know It.
And how do you feel about this career?
The career part is just the thing I have to do, but the making things I feel so lucky to get to do. I love it so much.
So how did you decide to become an actor and make your own films?
I started acting when I was 8. I did a really great production of It's Greek to Me with the Showstoppers, where it was a musical where we took the songs from Hair but changed the lyrics so that it was about Greek mythology, so it was educational as well. And pretty much from that point on, I was sold on acting. And then I started writing in college because I wanted to dictate the stories that I was telling. And then shortly after writing something for myself to act in, I realized I wanted even more control, and I started directing. And directing is my favorite.
How would you describe your specialty or type?
My specialty? Character-driven, dark comedy and comedic drama.
And who's your favorite actor that you look up to? And maybe favorite actor that also makes their own projects?
Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge right now. She's the one for me.
What would your ideal job be?
My ideal job would be directing my own movies for the rest of my life.
Do you consider yourself to be lucky?
Yes.
What advantages do you have?
I have a really great community of friends. I have a supportive family who I have managed to maintain good relationships with. I'm from California. That feels like an advantage. Is that a weird thing to say? I don't know. I grew up around creative people, and listing. There's so many advantages that I am becoming aware of and learning to feel grateful for.
Would you rather have a car or a diploma?
Car.
How do you feel about how interconnected the world is becoming?
I think it's exciting, and I think it's scary. I recently went on a trip to Europe. It started with film festivals, and then we branched off and visited a couple other countries. And on the one hand, it was comforting because I could find all of the things that bring me comfort in LA, and on the other hand, I was like, oh, hipster culture is just the same everywhere. Like, you can get the same pink ceramic mug to have your oat latte in Porto that you can in LA or New York. The cities they're all starting to look an awful lot alike. And I don't know, I find that kind of creepy, but also like, I'm drinking the oat latte.
What does the future look like to you?
On good days, it looks a lot like what my life looks like now, with a little more financial security. And on bad days, it looks like a literal hell, where everything's on fire, and I'm like, fighting to protect people's children from dying of thirst or famine.
How do you feel about having children?
I feel conflicted about it. I was pretty set on not having them until I met my current partner, and I really like the idea of raising children with him. Pregnancy doesn't really appeal to me. Parenting does. But I'm really freaked out about the next chapter for humanity, and I'm worried that I would have a lot of guilt bringing someone else into that. I think that's a pretty common sentiment right now for people our age. And not
What challenges do you feel the world is facing today?
Fear. I think a lack of resources that's turning into tribalism, that's turning into hate, that's speeding up the entropy we're already spiraling into. Yeah, I would say fear. Global warming. Climate change. Climate change that's the thing. And we're in denial about it, and we have things that bring us comfort that are ruining our planet, and individualism seems to be outweighing our desire to, I don't know, keep the human race alive.
What are you most grateful for?
I am most grateful for my relationships, my friendships, and my family.
What is your favorite way to communicate?
Through writing, I think, yeah, and like over wine, with a lot of wine, and good food.
What's your favorite book, film, and music right now?
My favorite book, film, and music right now. Favorite book right now. I really loved The Flamethrowers. I just read that. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Didn't think it was perfect, but I had a really good time reading it. My favorite movie right now, I think Phantom Thread left the strongest, most lasting impression of the movies I've seen in the last couple years. But I also just rewatched A League of Their Own, and that movie, wow, what a tearjerker. And my favorite music right now, I mean, I pretty much just listen to KCRW. I listen to Morning Becomes Eclectic, and I don't do a very good job of keeping track of the actual songs or artists that I'm loving. I'll Shazam them, and then they just get piled up in my list, and yeah, I'm not doing great with music.